My name is Sebastian Cox and I'm a furniture designer, and I am one half of Sebastian Cox Ltd.
And I'm the other half. I'm Brogan Cox, and we design and make furniture from British wood.
I started the business in 2010 and started looking at how in the UK like 90% of the wood that we use here is imported, and I thought it was a really interesting point around which to start a business. I met Brogan in 2013 and Brogan joined the business full-time a couple of years ago, and since then it's kind of really accelerated. So we make furniture for brands, for private clients in London. We're based in South East London. We sell internationally, and we have a jolly nice time making things with British wood. I showed at London Design Festival 2011, I think it was. I showed my sort of MA work so far, and a shop in Paris. There were 3 or 4 Parisian women speaking French pulling my products around, and they seemed to really like them, and I was terrified, and they placed an order for 24 pieces, and I was a student. I didn't have a workshop.
And you had your master's deadline.
Yeah, still hadn't finished my master's, hadn't written the dissertation. So I couldn't say no to the order, obviously, so found a way to do it in the university workshops, sort of bribed the technician to let me do that, and I was in business. So that was it. It wasn't really a leap, there wasn't really a choice. It was like, you've got to take the order, and then I was busy.
I remember some of the key moments. I remember really clearly when you received the email from Heels to participate in Heels Discovers. That was a really defining moment. The invitation to participate in the wish list and design and make something for Sir Terence Conran at the time, that felt enormous.
Yeah.
So lucky surprises, really wonderful surprises with great people, actually.
And when you're a student, you sort of form role models and kind of brands and businesses that you really like the look of, and when they then get in touch with you, that's kind of quite amazing. Like even small things like Morris & Co, just sort of getting in touch to say, we really like what you do, and would you like to come and meet us and get to know us? And as a student, I used to read William Morris, so little things like that make the sort of the hard graft of running a business just really worthwhile. I think it's sort of recognition from people you admire is probably the nicest gift to receive when you're working. I have always wanted to run my own business. All 3 of my parents run businesses. So my dad, my mum, and my stepdad run businesses, and I think small businesses. They're kind of like hard grafting, imaginative people, and I think. Before I even knew what the business was going to be, I used to say to people, I want to have my own business. I'm probably pretty unemployable. I think that's probably why Brogan's laughing.
Partly, yeah. My parents are quite similar. They've always run their own businesses, and it never really appealed to me. But I remember my dad saying once, it must have been like choosing A-levels or university or something, and I was really shocked because he turned to me in the kitchen and sort of said, "You're completely unemployable, Brogan. Like, you're made to have your own business. I don't know why you just don't do it." And that felt like a really surprising thing to say, but now it makes perfect sense.
I sort of wish that I'd had a Brogan earlier in the business. So if you can pair up with someone who complements your personality in terms of like how the two of you think, that's kind of probably going to be a stronger partnership, because I'm very instinctive, and I'm very I don't use spreadsheets that much, although I've learnt to, but my natural instinct is to just go for it, and I'm driven by fear of missing out quite a lot, whereas Brogan is more strategic. So pairing up with someone who complements your weaknesses is a good idea, but that's only if you can afford to, if you know someone. So I don't know if I'd say that that's something you have to do differently. Sometimes it does feel like work when you've got to sit down and get through, loads of quotations or some really, monotonous design tweaks or iterations or construction stuff. That can feel like work. But for the most part, it doesn't actually. It feels,
Yeah. We have a nice enough mixture of clients and projects that it never feels boring. It's always different, and I think that that has a massive effect on how fun or interesting something is. And building something for ourselves as well.
Yeah.
That plays a huge part.
And then there are those moments where you find yourself in the woods chopping down some trees for work, you know, in like midwinter on a crisp morning, and you think, yeah, this isn't work. This is fun.
Ooh.
Success, I think, is just stability. Someone said to me when I was very early in the stages of my business, I was trying to describe how I wanted it to be, and they said, it sounds like you're in it for a living, not a killing. And I thought that was a really nice way of putting it, actually. It is really just that. I want to pay the staff well and fairly. I want them to be really happy when they come into work.
Yes.
And I want the product that comes out of our workshop to reflect that happiness, you know. And I think it does. I think people, the stuff that comes out of here has a sort of warmth and a love in it, because actually we try to be really flexible about how they make it, and there's always their own personality in it.
Oh, totally.
So success for me would be something which is, all of those qualities coming out in the work as a result of running a place that people want to come to work in.
A little holiday where you get to wear a sun hat, eat seafood by the sea with a nice glass of wine. Bingo.
Yeah, that sounds pretty sweet, doesn't it?
Nailed it.
I think kind of travel and experience is brilliant, which can be a challenge with running a business, because this is what I'm describing in terms of like trying to slightly step away from this other entity, because it can hold you back from having the really good stuff in life, which is going to see how other cultures exist and you know, drinking their wine, eating their food.